And I'm back here with Andy Cooper from Tableau. Thank you, Andy, for making it to DataFest.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, thank you. And so why don't we start with introducing yourself to the online audience. Who are you? Where do you fit in the organization? And for people who might not be familiar with Tableau, I'm not sure if there's many people out there, but talk a little bit more about what you guys do.
Sure. I'm part of the solutions consulting team here at Tableau. So my role is to help prospective customers and existing customers get the best value out of their investment in the product. We provide a data analytics platform for people who haven't heard of us. We have over 4,000 employees. We have over 60,000 customers globally. We've been on the market since 2003. And we've been positioned as a leader in the Gartner Magic Quadrant for the last 6 years.
Okay, yeah, so Tableau is doing well, is what I'm hearing.
Yes,
yes,
very well.
Very well, okay, good. Now, we have this partnership going on between Tableau and Denodo already for quite a while. Can you talk a little bit more about that partnership? How does Denodo add value to Tableau?
Absolutely. The main thing is that when people are working with data, and specifically in the self-service analytics market, you're looking at people who've never perhaps worked with data before. Perhaps their biggest skill area is Excel, potentially. And that's great when they're just working with Excel, but as the solution starts to grow and as users need to access more data, there becomes a requirement to understand more than just what they're going to do in Excel. And a lot of users don't have that understanding of how to bring data together. They don't know where all the data is. They don't have access to it. There are a lot of challenges, and this is where the Denodo platform brings that capability to align all of the business data into one place and to provide users with a consistent view of that data. So there's no need to understand database tables. There's no need to be searching for what the appropriate metric is. There's no kind of concept of one department calls it sales, another department calls it revenue. Everything is presented in a clear interface, and so effectively you get the ability to provide users with a trustworthy business dialogue with their data.
Yeah, good. And so for Tableau users, as they connect to data sources, how do they see Denodo showing up? In other words, what is that kind of interface and integration between Denodo and Tableau? Do you have can you share a little bit more about that?
Sure. From our perspective, we very much position ourselves as the Switzerland of data. So we have customers connecting to a wide variety of platforms. And the benefit of connecting with Denodo is ultimately the fact that they are not having to connect to multiple data sources. They are connecting to one single platform. So those customers who I see who have made the investment in Denodo, they get this great benefit out of the box because they are simply connecting in one place. They've got access to everything they need in an easy to understand, business-centric way. So they get that real benefit of the work has been done for them, and they get that just extra boost in terms of time to value.
So there's really a user benefit there rather than figuring out what data sits where, in what format, how do I connect to it. It becomes completely transparent once they make use of Denodo. They connect Denodo, and behind the scene, basically all of the data is being brought together that is relevant for that user. Is that how I need to understand it?
That's exactly it. But what I would say is that I think also from an IT perspective, obviously, it gives them the opportunity to control the situation as well. So if you think about the traditional route where perhaps someone comes to IT and says, I need access to this database, I need access to this field, whatever that might be, all of those challenges from a perspective of governance, security, control, from an IT perspective, Denodo and Tableau gives that perfect synergy of control and easy access to data for self-service analytics.
Yeah. We've been talking a lot about the cloud during multiple sessions that we had here at DataFest. What is the perspective of Tableau and how the cloud is impacting the customer's data journey? How do they take advantage of the cloud without massively increasing the complexity? Can you talk a little bit about that?
No,
and maybe you need to hold the mic.
Absolutely.
A little bit closer. Yeah.
I mean, for us, we operate a hybrid approach. So we don't really care where our customers' data is. And obviously, with Denodo, they're putting all that into one single place. But obviously, there's two ways that the cloud is really coming into play. First and foremost, in terms of a much wider access to data. So if you look at Salesforce, for example, is probably a very clear and standout platform, which is totally cloud-centric. But Google Analytics, Google AdWords. I mean, I see a lot of people connecting to Google data sources. So the cloud is out there. It presents a very different challenge for IT in terms of it's no longer within their control in terms of locking down the content and managing the databases. But also from the perspective of where people deploy their content as well, because more and more customers are adopting a cloud-first approach to not just where their data is, but also where their architecture is as well. And so I have numerous conversations with customers where they are using the cloud to put their architecture and their data. And then obviously it just becomes a much wider significance for the organization.
Right. So are there certain commonalities that you see across different type of vertical markets? Each vertical, of course, has their own uniqueness around what type of business problem they solve, but the underlying architectural issue, there might be some commonalities out there as well. So not sure if there's anything that you can share with the audience around what you see happening in your space there.
Definitely, I see certain verticals that are probably slow to adopt some of the more kind of modern techniques. I'm not going to name them because that'd be perhaps a little bit unfair. But certainly there are some sectors where on-prem is still the major requirement, and cloud is not something that's being embraced.
Yeah.
But I think other sectors definitely, it's full steam ahead with the cloud. It's absolutely a priority for those organizations. Okay,
great. Well, Andy, thank you so much for being here with us at DataFest. Glad to see Tableau being part of this event. Indeed. And I believe your session will be coming up later this afternoon. So I would welcome or encourage the online audience to stay tuned for your presentation as well. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And we'll be right back with some more partner interviews later on. Thank you and stay tuned.